I've heard that many times. Absolutely. And that is not, I guess, a good place to, he has to understand he has the responsibility of this household, if that makes sense. In the sense of, if we want to go to the hierarchy, you can say, this is how God designed man to be there, to be the protector, provider, priest of his home. And so anything that's needed in the household, really, he needs to be the one to say, let me handle this, whether it's delegated or whatever. But yeah, sometimes men feel like, okay, I've been at work all day, I'm exhausted, not considering that the wife has been at home, work all day, and she's exhausted. So we need to come to a good place to say, well, let's work on this. Let's look at what are the responsibilities of our home to make our home run, regardless of who's doing it. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. So when you were a stay-at-home mom, you were the primary homemaker, caregiver. But when we decided later, as the kids got older, you went back to school, got your master's, opened up your practice, marriage and family therapist. Now that we're both working, where early in our marriage, I lean more on you to do things. But now that we're both working, it's our responsibility. Hey, we both cook.
Yeah.
We both clean.
Right.
Both.
Right. I remember you saying you don't do dishes, but
Yeah.
you did.
That ain't one of my. That's my least favorite.
Right.
thing.
You at least put them in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was grateful for that.
That's a great example of, hey man, this ain't something I want to do, but hey, we both out here now.
That's right.
So I can't put all that on my wife. I've got to bear some of this responsibility.
Absolutely.
So a lot of things that you don't want to do, and that maybe at one season in your life you didn't do, but hey, things have changed now.
I often say, make the choice and handle it.
Often one partner feels overburdened while the other feels confused or criticized. Because now here's another thing. I wonder if this is a generalization or true. In our case, you seem to be unable, or it's harder for you to relax and let stuff go. Hey, the dishes are in the sink. Hey, get them tomorrow. Hey, this needs to be done. That's definitely you. Is that true, do you think, women, generally speaking, more than men?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's probably women more than men. Now, I've heard some men say they like certain things as well. It's like, I guess, how were you raised?
Don't get me wrong. I want all the dishes out of the sink. I want the house. Here's one of our favorite things. Hey, somebody's coming over. And we keep the house like this all the time because we like it like this. So I love that. But at the same time, being very intentional, hey, now we're both tired. This can wait until tomorrow. But I don't know that you're able to go to bed with dishes in the sink.
I have, and I can.
Oh my gosh, really? When? Twice?
No, I have and I can. However, that is not my go-to. I wouldn't necessarily want to do that because I like to wake up in my kitchen in the morning and it's ready to go. It's clean. I'm ready.
Who doesn't like that?
Right. What I'm just saying, I can't be that relaxed and the dishes in the sink.
But what we're talking about is you can't do everything all the time. That's the point we're making.
I know it.
We're talking about being overburdened. Okay. and typically in this example, while one person feels overburdened, through their eyes, the other person ain't doing nothing. So not only,
and we have to really watch that because a lot of say, like you say, that's something that is in me. You didn't require or ask for me to be that way. But it's in my mind that I need to be that way. So you have to really be aware of your own self to say, I'm driving myself. Because sometimes I have a couple and I'll say, well, he didn't say that, did he? He didn't say that. She said, well, I just thought.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, no.
And we say you
are driving.
In the counseling center when you're counseling.
Right.
Okay,
you're driving yourself. He's not requiring or asking you to do some of these things, but you're driving yourself. So be aware of that.
So what does it actually look like when you have that imbalance? Like one partner becomes the default parent, one person's the default planner. There's unspoken resentment about who does more. Task management replaces emotional connection.
Yeah.
So
and we definitely have to bring it down a notch.
So coaching insight.
Okay.
We got the football analogy going. Got my coaching hat on. What's the coaching insight for how do you?
So relationships thrive when both partners feel seen, valued, and supported, not just in romance, but in responsibility. Open conversations and shared expectations are key.
And you reference the scripture when you talk about that. Galatians 6:2, carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Okay, Teresa, coaching insight. Let's move to kind of emotional exhaustion. When we're talking about parenting, we're talking about the challenges, the danger signs of parenting, as great as it is. We're talking about how you need to be very intentional about this. So we live in a fast-paced, overstimulated world. What does that mean to us as parents?
So sometimes our emotional bandwidth is just stretched too thin.
Okay.
Work, stress, caregiving, unresolved trauma in our own lives, possibly, or mental fatigue. All that leads to an individual emotional unavailability. They're not available, even to the one they love the most.
Wow.
It could to get to that.
So here's the thing: don't let children be a disrupt. Well, they are disruptors, but
not a negative disruptor.
Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah.
So don't let children be an uncontrolled disruptor.
Right.
They are a disruptor. That's a decision that you should have factored in. Hopefully you did factor in when you decided that you can have children. So, but you just got to manage the disruption is kind of what we're saying, because disconnection or numbness during conversations, we don't want that, right? We don't.
And I wanted to bring out, usually this happens because of fear.
Explain what.
I guess the allowing the kids to be a disruptor to the negative side is because of fear. You fear that I got to do all this for the kids because they need this, but also you've got to think about I have a spouse as well.
Now you didn't say this, but you know where my mind went when you were talking.
What?
Have you seen couples who make children little idols?
Yeah. I see it all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
What does it look like?
Well, it looks like you just focus on everything. You want the kid, you just build the kid, and you're not even concerned about what the spouse needs. It's just total focused on the kid, and it really, really leads where the kid is. I guess they're a little too self-focused.
Huh. Okay, now we don't have to. We didn't. I don't know if this was part of what we're going to talk about, but when you say that, it makes me think about activities for our children as parents. Do you have any? Advice on our four children participated in various extracurricular things? We're big fans of that. What would your advice be about that?
What do you mean? Allowing them to?
Well, how do you keep it manageable? So how do you keep a balance? You got four children. They're involved in soccer, basketball, football, whatever other extracurricular. How do you balance? How would you counsel somebody to balance that?
Well,
how do we balance it?
Well, you figure out you really need to check in with the child. What is it that the child really, really likes to do, and
before you put them in
stuff.
Point.
But now sometimes, like I say, as a young child, you put them in several things because to see what their talent or whatever is.
Okay.
But then you make a decision. Okay, since we have four kids, each of you can have one activity, and then doing your best in that activity is the goal.
Okay.
Even though you might be good at all of them, which one do you truly want to do?
So, oldest daughter, I remember this. Oldest daughter, Madison, was really, really good at soccer. And I remember, now, Madison went to college on a basketball scholarship, but she was probably better at soccer. I remember when somebody came to me one time and asked about her playing select soccer, travel soccer. So I said, okay, let me count the costs. Explain to me how this works. Well, and we were living in Mississippi at the time. Okay, so next weekend we play in Baton Rouge. Then the weekend after that, we're in Dallas. And then the weekend after that, we're in Louisville. And then, stop right there. No, we won't be playing selection. Now, Jim, you're not supporting your daughter? Sure, I'm supporting my daughter, but the main focus is the good of the entire family. And sometimes we had to make decisions that were best for the family